Julian from Melbourne in Victoria, and I've been over here 4 or 5 times, stayed in the Tongariro River Motel 3 times, and it's good. It's a little bit old school, but you see up here, rod racks, that's pretty good inside. In any one day when you come over here, you're likely to encounter a lot of fish of about 4 pounds, 3 or 4 pounds, and when you get them on, they go like the clappers. It's absolutely fantastic. The fishing is often quite deep and heavy. You toss that up the currents, and every now and again it stops. You've got to be quick though. You only get a nanosecond when you try and set the hook, and when they're on, they're really on, and you can end up with a lot of fish during the course of the day. Probably in my case catch, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 fish of 3 to 4 pounds each, and almost all rainbows. I've only ever caught 1 brown here, and that was the night before last on a dry, right on dark. But the rainbows are terrific and almost always in really good condition. You get what's called the freshies, that is, they come up from Lake Taupo, and they've perhaps been in the river for just a day, maybe 2 days, and they're very, very silver in colour, very fat across the back, very deep too, and you really know when you've got one of those, because they really go. Yesterday I hooked into one of those, and the line went through my fingers so fast that I got line burn. I also tried check nymphing for the first time. Went out with a mate from here, and he caught 2 or 3 in short space of time, and so I changed, and that opens up different kinds of water, particularly in a little river called Hanamea or something or other, where you can, it runs quite fast, but it's about 2 or maybe 3 rods width, and dropping this check nymph in front of pods of 4 or 5 fish like that, and we caught something like that. It was exciting. This region's got plenty of variety, and I've been here 5 times I think, stayed in this place 3 times. I think if you get over here you'll catch a few, and it's great. Over in spring, basically then the weather is starting to get good, and that's to coincide with the biggest run of fish from Lake Taupo up these rivers. Now, you just don't get that in Victoria. Spring fishing in Victoria is so-so, I reckon. I'd rather go in summer in Victoria when there's more dry fly fishing. Ross from this motel, he puts out a daily report which I have a look at every now and again just to check out what's happening, and that's good. But you know what, I've been here in winter too one time. The days are shorter, they finish about 5 o'clock. The quality of the fish is probably better, there's more fresh fish coming through at that point, and I've had really good fishing at that time. So that's good time to consider. So I'd be coming over here in winter or spring, either's good. But then I'd like to come over in February too, and January when the dry fly fishing's on.